Diarmid and Larry, are you ready for action? Larry usually gives me a lecture every time he comes out, so I'm keeping an eye on him tonight. He threatened he'd put me into the elevator and send me off.
As Joe mentioned already there, we have a lot of talent lined up for you tonight, and a lot of singers and a lot of lovely music. But somebody said that we hadn't many poems, so I racked my brain for one that I had learned at school all those years ago, and it goes like this. It's nice and short. 'Twas an evening in November, as well I can remember. I was strolling down the road in drunken pride, and my knees were all aflutter as I landed in the gutter, and a pig came up and lay down by my side. Now, my mind, it was a flutter with thoughts I couldn't utter, when a colleen passing by was heard to say, "You can tell a man who boozes by the company he chooses." And the pig got up and slowly walked away. Now, thanks very much. I must introduce you to our good friend here, Larry Whelan. Many of you know him already from the concerts in the Coonbarra and down in Creedon's Hotel. Larry is from Clare, and he's going to sing a Clare song for us. So bear with us now while Larry will sing a song. You can join in on the chorus with him. That's right, Larry. That's right.
I'll sing about our railway. You may talk of Columbus sailing across the Atlantic Sea, but he never tried to go railing from Ennis as far as Kilkee. You run for the train in the morning, the excursion train starting at 8. You're there when the clock gives the warning, and there for an hour you will wait. And as you're waiting for the train, you'll hear the guard sing this refrain. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that we'll be home before the night? Oh, it all depends on whether the old engine holds together, and it might. Now, Michael, so it might. Now they find out where the engine's been hiding, and it drags you to sweet Corrafin. Says the guard back her down in the siding, there's the goods from Kilrush coming in. Oh, perhaps 'twill come in 2 hours, perhaps 'twill break down on the way. If it does, says the guard, be the powers, we're here for the rest of the day. And as you sit and curse your luck, the train backs down into a truck. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Have you got the parcel there for Mrs. White? Oh, you haven't told Begorra, say it's coming down tomorrow, and it might. Oh, Michael, so it might. At Lahinch the sea shines like a jewel, with joy you are ready to shout. When the stoker cries out there's no fuel, and the fire 'tis teetotally out. But hand up that bit of a log there, I'll soon have ye out of this fix. There's a fine clump of turf in the bog there, and the rest can start gathering sticks. And as you're plucking bits of trees, you'll hear some wise remarks like these. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that you will get the fire to light? Oh, an hour will require for the turf, it might be drier, and it might. No, Michael, so it might. Kilkee, oh, you'll never get near it. You're in luck if the train brings you back, for the permanent way is so queer now. She spends most of her time off the track. Uphill the old engine 'tis climbing, while the passengers push with a will. You're in luck when you're reaching a stymon, for all the way home is downhill. And as you're wobbling through the dark, you'll hear the guard make this remark. Are you right there, Michael, are you right? Do you think that we'll be home before daylight? Oh, it all depends on whether the old engine holds together, and it might. No, Michael, so it might. Thank you.
Now, Larry and myself always like to include a religious, sort of a kind of religious item in our program. Now, it might be a hymn, or it might be a reading from the Bible or something like that. But this time I'm going to read for you a short excerpt from, I think it was the Carrignavar newsletter there a few weeks ago. Definitely a weekend newsletter anyway from the church in Carrignavar. And it goes like this. A drunk man sits down on a park bench next to a priest. He's really under the weather and his clothes are all tattered and everything, and he's got a half-empty bottle of gin sticking out of his coat pocket. He opens up a newspaper and he begins reading. After a few minutes, the guy turns to the priest and he asks, "Say, Father, what causes arthritis?" The priest answers him. He says, "Loose living, wicked women, too much alcohol and too much smoking, not eating properly, sleeping rough, and contempt for your fellow man." "Well, I'll be damned," said the drunk, and he returns to his paper. And then the priest, thinking about what he had said, and he's feeling a little bit sorry, he says to the man, "I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to be so harsh there. How bad is your arthritis?" "Oh, I don't have it at all," replies the man, "but it says here in the paper that the Pope does." We'll finish up now with a song which was written by our good friend and neighbour Pat O'Sullivan from Carrignadora, who was tragically killed in an accident in Wembley Stadium about 5 or 6 years ago. And Pat wrote a song called "My Ballingeary Home," and I'm going to try to do that for you now. In this lonely London town, I lay my tired old body down and dream again of friends and days long gone. On the footsteps of my mind, I am carried back in time to see the scenes around my Ballingeary home. Someone said the savage loves his native shore, and I wonder, could I ever love you more? But this much I can tell, it's been a life of living hell since I left my dear old Ballingeary home. Down the little winding road to the village now I go, greeting kindly neighbours on the way.
Each smiling face I see brings back fond memories of old times around my Ballingeary home. Someone said the savage loves his native shore, and I wonder, could I ever love you more? But this much I can tell, it's been a life of living hell since I left my dear old Ballingeary home. There's a church along the way where on Sundays we would pray, and the old schoolhouse where I learned right from wrong. The pictures fade from my mind. This is a different place and time, far from my dear old Ballingeary home. Someone said the savage loves his native shore, and I wonder, will I ever see you more? If fate had been more kind,